So we've just come to the end of Gay Pride Month, which is obviously the month of June. And it's a tradition that dates back to, it's actually June 1970, which was marking a year anniversary of the Stonewall riot. Today I'm excited to be joined by CJ Curls, who is a Senior Vice President of Rate.com. But probably more important than that for this conversation is he's one of the founders of Professionals with Pride in Sonoma County. So welcome.
Thank you. Cool. Give her a...
So yeah, let's first start talking a little bit about Professionals with Pride and what inspired you and some other friends setting it up.
Yeah, so about a year or two ago, Ashley Gomez, who is also one of the founding members of Professionals with Pride, went to Sonoma County Pride, and she's like, oh my God, there's this huge LGBTQ community here. And she says, it's great. And look at all these people. And then Pride's over with. And she's like, you don't see anybody for another year. So she wanted to try to figure out how she could bring the community together more frequently than just during Pride.
And you were sharing some information with me just when we were talking a moment ago about the size of the gay community in the US and San Francisco and Sonoma County.
UCLA did a study, and it was for same-sex couples. And of course, the largest community in the nation is San Francisco. I mean, of course it's San Francisco. But the second largest community is in Sonoma County, which is crazy to me. I mean, it's a big county, but we have the second largest same-sex couple in the nation.
Yeah, I would never have guessed that in a month of Sundays. Yeah. So, you obviously set up Professionals Pride, which was it sort of 9 or so months ago now?
So at this point, we started in October of 2024 was our kickoff.
Okay. So yeah. And so what was the main, what was the real sort of gap that you saw as a need for an organization like Professionals with Pride?
So the thought is that we wanted to get people together who are in the community to network with each other and support each other's businesses and mentor people. And, we just thought it was going to just be a networking group. And it took us a while, and it probably took us 4 or 5 meetings before we realized that probably if we brought it together as a chamber of commerce, it would be a lot easier to do that. So it actually turned out being something that was going to be very small to be something that's going to be, well, hopefully it's going to be a lot larger than we ever thought it was going to be.
And then so how do you envisage, and it's relatively early days, how do you envisage it sort of supporting professionals and business owners?
Bringing community together. So that's one thing. Just bringing people together is number one. So in a networking format, we're also looking at doing educational events. And, the third thing is mentorship. We're in the beginnings. So it's just the start of this. So we've got the networking done. We've got the events down. Mentorship is next. So we're 8 people trying to pull this all together. And it's a lot for just 8 people to do. We have grown the network. There's 80 people. There's 80 members right now. Our goal was in the first year to have 100 members. So we've got a couple months to get to that number, which I feel as though we're going to be able to get to.
And what's the process for people becoming part of it and joining?
Our website, call me. But our website, you can go to our website, professionalswithpride.com, and you will be directed where you want to go. Just go and take a look. And we're looking for volunteers. We're looking for members. We're looking for people that want to help us grow this.
And obviously, as part of Pride Month, there were a whole bunch of events in Sonoma County and obviously beyond. But I know you put on one of the first, Pride events in Healdsburg, which was incredibly well attended. But you must have been super proud.
Yeah, we were definitely super proud of that. Some local people within Healdsburg. I mean, I live in Healdsburg, but it wasn't me that came up with the idea of doing it. But some local Healdsburg residents decided that they wanted to create the Healdsburg Pride event, and they had no infrastructure. So they came to us to help them build the infrastructure, and we sold out.
Yeah, and is that one of the first sort of Pride events that has happened in Healdsburg, or?
So there's been the flag raising of the Pride flag for several years now. I think started in 2019. I could be wrong on that. Mark me on that one. They also lay up the bridge in Healdsburg, which is amazing, and the Pride flag colors at the beginning of June. So it's pretty romantic and pretty cool. It's not the first thing that LGBTQ thing that has happened within Healdsburg, but it's the first actual Pride event.
Yeah, because I mean, historically, I guess, people who are from out of Sonoma County are probably aware of Guerneville has long been a sort of, a gay destination. They've got the famous Lazy Bear weekend, I think it's the end of July to the beginning of August. But yeah, you must be, super excited to see like so many different events happening around Sonoma County.
Yeah, it's really nice seeing how everybody can bring together their local communities to enjoy and let everyone know that everyone belongs together.
So we've obviously spoken about, the three different areas where Professionals in Pride is focused. I know you've done a number of events so far, which have been in various different places around the county. I know there were one in Santa Rosa, one in Healdsburg, but yeah, I know you've got some coming up as well.
Yeah, the next one's actually coming up the end of June, and it's going to be held at McCroskey, and it's going to be a speed networking event. So like speed dating, but speed networking, where we're hopefully going to get to know what everybody's doing and try to support each other in whatever their businesses are.
Cool. And the format, again, for people to come along, just go to your website.
Just go to the website.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to events and
Pay your ticket, buy a ticket.
buy your ticket and join. If you're a member, there's no cost. If you're not a member, there's a cost.
And if you've not been to McCroskey, it's a killer location, isn't it? I mean, the setting of McCroskey is really great. And they also, I know they do sort of really great events as well. So it's a great venue.
Extremely supportive of the Professionals with Pride.
So obviously, beyond Professionals with Pride, there's there's a ton of other events, through the year in Sonoma County. Is it worth touching on a couple of those?
Yeah. There's Santa Rosa Pride, of course, and there's also Gay Wine Weekend, or Out in the Vineyards, as they call it, which for the last few years has been taking place here in Healdsburg. And there's wine dinners along with tea dances and after parties. So it's definitely a pretty big deal. I'm not quite sure what the numbers are, but they're not small.
Yeah.
There's actually a pretty big group that comes in.
Okay. So you've obviously achieved an awful lot in a short space of time. You've got the mentoring coming up. I know one of the things that you're really looking for is, volunteers. What particularly is it you're looking for help with?
Got events, posting online, keeping the database up to date. I mean, so really just we're looking for help.
Yeah. I know also anyone spread the word, if obviously quite a few people do know about it, but then a lot of people in Sonoma County aren't aware of Professionals with Pride. So yeah, definitely get in touch. You want to give the website?
Yes. professionalswithpride.com.
And we'll put a link in the description below. And yeah, I think what you're doing is awesome, making a huge, contribution now and into the future. So I mean, hopefully it'll gather speed all of its own.
Yeah,
but yeah, and appreciate you coming in to talk about it today.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Cool. Thanks, Chris.